Hello, folks. Thank you so much. Today we are continuing our program, how to protect yourself, protect your assets, and protect your family, should in case something happens to you. Our first episode, we spoke about many things, getting insurance, and then recording or keeping track of all the assets you have in your house. And then even if you live in a townhouse, some of the things that you need to have to protect your assets and then yourself. So today, being second episode, we will talk about legal and then estate planning. First of all, I want you to know that I'm just a real estate agent. I'm giving you information from what I studied. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not practicing a lawyer. And then I'm not giving you legal advice on anything. I'm sharing information that I know, what I learned about. And then I'm sharing this information to you. Sharing it for you. If you have more questions, you can go ahead and then do what? Talk to your attorney, find out what can help you most. In case something happens to you, in case something happens to your wife or your husband, your children, or even in case you are sick and then you cannot speak, you cannot give directives, you cannot, say anything to protect yourself, to protect your assets. What are the things that you need to do? So it's very, very important you find a lawyer in your area, in your city, your community, or even anywhere you can find a lawyer to give you legal advice on all the things you've learned from. So now I'm going to talk about a will. A will, what is a will? W-I-L-L. What is it? What are the advantages for having that document in place? Should in case something happens to you, should in case you die and leave your wife and children behind, your assets, who's supposed to take care of? We minorities, mostly, anytime I'm saying things, I'm from Africa originally, and I like using where I came from as an example during my my communications and all sort of things, because back home where I come from, sometimes if someone passes away, it depends on the culture, it depends on the tribe you are in. If you passes away, maybe if you don't take care, your children might not even benefit from anything you have done, because your assets has to go to your nephews, because your assets belongs to your sister's children. You are their uncle, so everything has to go to them. And because of that, even we study in our schools, we study in our colleges and all sort of things. But something like, only few people, I can say only few people educated and then people who have traveled I mean, probably maybe now because of internet, because of access to information, a lot of people out there are changing. They are learning to hand over everything to their children after they are gone. Otherwise, people died and then family fight for their what? For their assets without even thinking about their children. The children will grow. They knew their dad was rich when they were young. As soon as their dad passes away, the whole family lifestyle turns upside down because we don't do this. We don't take care, or we don't have idea of doing this, setting up some kind of will to protect our children. And then if we have, even sometimes it becomes an issue. Some families will fight, some families will do what? Will try much as they can to steal the assets from the deceased family, children, wives. So it is very, very important. If you are listening to me, it doesn't matter where you are. Either you are in Africa, you are in the United States, any part of the world. If you have an asset, you have children, you have a house, you have anything, there are some things that you need to put it in place. You need to. You need, even if you have assets, you know, you love your family. Everybody came from family, right? Everybody. Sometimes some people from a family, very poor family. He is the only pillar in the family. Yes, of course. So if you have assets, you don't want to just hand over everything to your wife, or maybe you don't want to just leave it and then leave it to your children and wife alone to create enemy after your death. So you try to do what? You try to set up some things in place, which is well, to identify where some of the assets should be distributed. Who's supposed to get what? And what is it? And you know, these are some of the things. But if you live in the United States, mostly because the law here protects the immediate family, husband and wife. If something happens to you, you have to make sure that your assets automatically transfer into your wife and then children. You have to make sure. You have to know. So these are some of the things we are going to talk about. We are talking about will. We will talk about living trust. We will talk about power of attorney. All these things are very, very, very crucial for you. It's very, very crucial. Sometimes we think we will live forever. Sometimes we see ourselves as invisible. So we don't plan ahead. We don't plan for our children. Those of you having children, you have, children. You have a wife, a beautiful wife. You have your children. You are working hard. Probably you are the only breadwinner in the family. If you are not there, you are sick, the whole family is screwed. These are some of the things that you have to put in place whilst you are strong, whilst you are capable of doing things. I have seen so many people who have been through this kind of situation, left their assets behind, and then at the end of the day, what they have, what? Mess up. People didn't take care of what they have. They have houses, they got sick, and then couldn't take care, their family couldn't take care of it. They have, businesses, something happens, and then that's it. There is no one taking care of it. Sometimes our wives are just sitting back, lay back, because they feel like everything is going all right. No. If you are a wife out there, your part in the family is to support the family grow, to help the family grow. You build your home, you support your husband. Success of every man depends on the wife, or a wife you marry. Success of every man. Men can work, we can bring money home, but if we don't have any supportive in place, you will work, and then after something happens to you, the whole family is screwed. So if you're listening to me, either as a wife, as a husband, as a child, you have to make sure that all these things are in place. Sometimes some family don't want to talk about it because they are afraid. They are afraid maybe their partner might eliminate them to take over their assets if they know that the assets will be transferred automatically to them. Some people don't want to talk about it. But still, even if you don't want to talk about it, it's very, very important to you for you to go ahead and then do what? Do it, and then put it somewhere. Should in case something happens to you, that document will speak for you. Will speak for you. Who's supposed to take care of your children? Who's supposed to take care of your assets? Who's supposed to take care of your houses you have? Who's supposed to take care of businesses you've built? These are some of the things. Probably even you don't want someone within your family because you know that if it goes to them, that individual will mess it up. So you don't want that individual to take care of it. Which if you don't put anything in place, automatically it will go to that individual. Mostly in Africa, if the person knows directly that after your death, he will inherit all your assets, they will take it from your family. And it happens a lot. It happens so many times. I know Western world, like United States and other places, because of the way their laws and everything, sometimes court can step in and then or even if the person is married, automatically the assets transfer into the other spouse. Otherwise, if you live in a country that these things are not common, all your assets, all what you have will be transferred into someone's. So it's very, very, very important to set up these things to help you protect your assets in case something happens, in case you're sick, in case you are there, in case you have children you love. You look at your young children, 3-year-old boy or 9-year-old boy or 10-year-old girl or 5-year-old girl. You look at her face. You sit down and ask yourself, should in case something happens to me, what am I going to do? My child, this girl, this boy, my wife I loved, my husband I care about. What are they going to do? These are some of the things. That's why when I was talking last time about having a house, I did mention about having insurance. To do what? To protect it. Should in case something happens to it, you can recoup your assets. You can recoup what you've lost, some of them. Even if you don't get all of them, you will still recoup almost about 80% of it. The same thing applies here. In case something happens to you. So, folks, I just want you, this podcast is informational podcast to help you grow. To help you achieve something peculiar in your life. We try to give you the information you want. We try to give you, some things. I try to bring our culture back, things that, affecting us back home. We try to just use it to guide you here for you to make absolute changes that will benefit you. That will benefit you. Folks, before I continue, I want you to know that this program was sponsored by Yodo Group. Yodo Group is a group of companies. The companies are Rackmat.com, Gooddeal.com, Zuli.com, Yodo.com, and AmericanGuardianAngels.com. All these companies, some of them are marketplaces you can check online. Some of them are marketplaces. Some of them are healthcare companies. Some of them are real estate. These companies are there to help you grow your business. So if you have any business or you have any product line, check out Good Deal or Rackmat. If you have business and you want to list online, check Yodo.com is business online marketplace. If you have real estate in Africa, you want to sell, check Zuli.com. You have a family who needs home health care or anything, check American Guardian Angels. And then, check other things that will help you. Zuli is there for real estate in Africa. Folks, so my thing is, I want you to know, I want you to believe that you don't want to work hard and tomorrow something happens to you and you can't control anything. You see, what is a will? A will is a legal document that outlines how your assets should be distributed after your death. That is will. It's a legal document. In case you die right now, it's a legal document that will guide or will just outline how your assets should be distributed. Who should receive what? Probably sometimes you have children. You have maybe about 4, 5, or 6 children. They are old. You have the youngest who is not working, having started education. You have money in your bank account. You have your wife. You can decide to say this should go to the youngest one to protect him or her until the child reaches maybe 18 or 20 or 21. And then the rest should go to the other older siblings. Or maybe some percentage should go to your wife. Automatically, your wife control is anyway in here. But if you are in Africa, you have to be able to put all this mechanism in place. These are some of the most important thing I will encourage you, if you're buying a house, if you own a house in America, it is very, very important, because in this country, it doesn't matter how long you've paid your mortgage. I could remember years back when the market was really rough. I met a lady who at that time has been in the United States almost over the past 27 years, owned a house, paid her mortgage on time, and one day she was working for a company. She has been there in the company almost about 15-20 years. Probably, she said, when she came, that was the first company she started working with. She has been there for a long time. She bought her house, she lived in her house, she was doing well, decorated the house. She paid the house down to $70,000. From $250,000, she paid all the way to down to $70,000. And then all of a sudden, she was laid off. Very old, fragile woman, thinking she was going to retire. By the time she retired, the house will be paid off so that she can do what? She can move on her life, enjoy her life, live in her house free and clear, and then enjoy her retirement. But this thing didn't happen. She didn't see that this thing was going to happen. All of a sudden, in the United States, if they want to lay you off, they don't, it doesn't matter how, good you are for the CEO or whoever, they just walk you out. They just let you go without informing you. This woman was laid off just like that. Her life was so, at that time too, real estate market was so bad. People were not buying. The economy during the time of Bush, the economy was so bad, such a way that, nobody, even there were some houses, 80,000, 90,000, 50,000, for some townhouses, even 35,000. Nobody were buying. I remember there was a whole block of townhouse, about 4 or 5 units were being, they were trying to sell it even $250,000. Nobody bought it. You see? So this woman called me, wanted me to find out if I could sell the house. I tried, and she couldn't. She tried to work with the bank. The bank said what they care about is to pay the mortgage. To pay the mortgage. If you don't pay the mortgage, we will take over the house. And they did. This woman's life, all her job, all her life, everything ended just like that. Just like that. So things happen. That's why I try to tell you that if you own a house, you have to have something there to protect you in case of anything that, might prevent you from paying the mortgage. You have to protect yourself against any unforeseen situation. You have to. You have to. One thing in the United States is there is no like I beg you, say, I beg you, say, I beg you. No. If you don't pay, even if you paid the whole house down to $10,000, you don't pay. That is what even the banks want. They want to take it over from you. They'll move on their life, sell it, make their profit, and then forget about you. So you as individual in this country You have to be smart. You have to learn. You have to put things there in case something happens to you, in case you are sick, in case something serious happens to you and then you can't perform. You have someone, you have something in place to protect you. So it's good to have will. It is very, very important. The advantages of having will is, you can control over your asset distribution. Decide who should get what. You can control over your assets. Another thing, advantage of having a will is you can appoint a guardian who should take care of your younger children in case something happens to you. Who? Maybe you have a family. If you don't have a wife, you've adopted children. Who has to take care of those children? That's why you have to have it. If you have a wife, you have directive. You have what should go to your wife. The amount of money that should be saved for your children in case they reach a certain age, so that your wife doesn't go and marry to another guy to just steal everything from your children. So it's very, very important. That's one good advantage I like about a will. And then those of you who like donation, you see, recently I had Bill Gates. He's still alive. I love that man. He's still alive. But he has already, thought about where his assets should go next 20 years. He will give billions of dollars to third world countries. He came to this world. He has children, right? He has billions and billions of dollars. Bill Gates is what? He's saying, next 20 years, I will give over so access to poor people. May God bless him. May God bless his ancestors. That's donation. May God guide him. Give him wisdom and energy. Even if he dies right now, may God protect his children and children and children. Make them great. That is power of will. And if something happens to him right now, no government, no United States government or anybody have control over it. He has already set it up. He has already set it up. And then if you have a will, the advantage is that you can update it at any time. You can change it. You can change it. You can decide to say, okay, hey, I thought you could handle my assets after I'm gone. But now I realize that you are not somebody I can trust. You can change it. So will is something that you can do. You can change it at any time. You can do things to help you, Folks, it's very, very important. This information is one of the things that I want you to take home. I want you to take home. I want you to just share it. If you get this, if you receive this video, just go ahead and then let people know. Forward it to your friends. Forward it to your family members. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know exactly what you want them to do. If you those people living in Africa, rich folks, people who live in Africa, you have a lot of money. Last time I was watching a video and there was one rich man in Nigeria. They said in 1980s or something like that, this man was very prominent Nigerian. I know Nigerians, I love my people. If the person has money, they show it. They have money. And this individual had a lot of cars. He passes away and nobody took care of his assets. All the sweat, all the hard work, everything he did became waste. Because what? Probably family were fighting. His wife and children don't want to just go there and fight the family. So they decided to let it go. The family maybe couldn't manage it. The wives decided to take their children and just go. And their assets, cars, houses, mansions, sitting wasted. You don't want that. You don't want that. So it's very crucial for you to start thinking about all these. That is awareness. You have to be aware that if you don't do all these things, at the end of the day, you might end up messing up everything that you have worked really hard for. Everything that you have worked really hard for. Your children will just cry every single day behind you. And then I do believe you don't want that. I do believe you don't want that. You don't want these things to happen to your children. You don't want this to happen to anybody. So will is very important. If you haven't started it, talk to your attorney. Find a lawyer in your area and then talk to them. If you have real estate, you have any asset, talk to them. Share the information. Let them give you advice what to do. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a real estate agent. I'm a podcaster. And then I'm just trying to give you little information just to guide you. Go what? Do things that will help you, folks. It is very important. It is very important. You don't want, sometimes I sit down and said, sometimes I see things happen and then you ask yourself, oh my God, is this me too? If it happens to me, are my children going to go through this? I ask myself. You too ask yourself. You too ask yourself. Ask yourself, if this happens to you or to somebody, if this happens to you, are you going to go through this? Are your children, your innocent children? I love America. I love America because sometimes you see some children, maybe about 3-year-old or maybe 4 years old, millionaire already, because the parents planned for them. The family planned for them. I can remember, let me give you some funny story. Even it's a true story. I went to dealership, Honda dealership, to change my oil. And they took the car from me. I was in a showroom walking around looking at cars. And then I saw two elderly couples. They are in their 60s. They were just walking around. And then the man was really funny, to be honest. He was looking at Toyota Corolla, very beautiful one. I think that was 2024 Corolla. And he looked at it. I was standing looking at it. And then he asked me, oh, how do you see this car? And then I said, oh, wow, this is really nice car. It's for youngest. This for, youth. It's a really beautiful car. And then he was laughing. And then I asked him, are you buying it for yourself? And then he said, no. He was buying the car cash. That was, I think, about $38,000 cash. Paying cash. Not for his son, but his grandson, who turned 16 years old. Sweet 16 gift, $38,000 car. Grandfather, grandparents. See, the money is there. The money is there. Do you think if these grandparents didn't plan their life ahead of them, will they be able to invest $38,000, buy a car $38,000 for their grandson or daughter? No. They plan ahead of them. So this child, 16-year-old, has $38,000 assets in his name already, free and clear. That's for him. Who knows how much they have invested for him. I had another story. There were a certain guy, had a lot of money. He passed away. And he didn't have any child. He gave almost over $16 million to his family. No child, no wife. Gave over $16 million. They didn't go through probate. Didn't go through, he set up a will. Folks, let me tell you something. Africans, minorities in this country, we are joking. We work hard, we make money, and they mess up the money. We don't invest, we don't think about our children. The certain is some people even say, oh, when they grow, they can do things, they can go for loan to pay their student loan and all sort of things. That is insane. That is insane. Your father, your parents didn't do it for you, doesn't mean that you don't have to do it for your children. If you want your legacy to last forever, then you have to build foundation for your children. You build foundation for them to follow. You build a foundation for them to follow. That is something that we Africans, we minorities, doesn't pay attention to. If we see somebody succeeding, we keep on talking about, oh, this and that and that. Like back home, if someone is rich, they said, this guy used juju. Because we don't plan. So we see somebody being rich, we feel jealous and then start talking nonsense. Folks, I want to end here with this segment. This is episode 2. Well, we will talk about another thing. We will talk about living trust the next day, advantages, and we will talk about power of attorney. So feel free to forward the video to your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out Fremson Podcast or Y Group TV on YouTube, and you should be able to have access to all the videos we have over there. And then if you have any real estate question, you want to sell a house, feel free to contact me. Send me a message. Mostly if you live in the Twin Cities, I can help you. I'm a commercial and then residential real estate agent. I can help you find exactly what you are looking for. But my wish for you is you plan ahead for your family. You plan ahead for yourself. In case something happens to you, your hard work will not be in vain. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful